Well, hey, folks, for those tuning in here, we'll just let everyone else get settled in here. I just felt kind of awkward staring at a blank computer screen to make sure that this stuff was all working. So to those who are with us right now, welcome. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. We'll just wait here another minute or so for the rest of the people to get involved, for those who are joining us. Well, welcome to my first ever YouTube live stream. It's been a long, hard road to get here, but I think we finally got her figured out. Now, of course, this show today is being brought to you by the Grand River Blues Society, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Neil Tarswell and his crew reached out to me about a month ago saying, "Hey, Dan, what do you think about doing a live stream?" And I thought, well, that's a great idea. Maybe I better learn how to do one. So through some trial and error, and a big shout out here to Jonathan Knight, even though he may not be watching. Jonathan Knight is also a proud supporter of the Grand River Blues Society. He walked me through the different things to make this thing happen. Now, one quick thing, the live chat here on YouTube is open. However, there's nobody here. It's just me. So I will do my best to answer all your questions after the live stream's over, if you indeed have them. We're going to play a little slide guitar, sing a few songs, use some different guitars, talk about a little slide technique, and talk about what the Grand River Blues Society can do for you and what you can do for them. So welcome aboard, folks. I'm going to start out here with a favorite song of mine for a Sunday afternoon. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Now God walked out on the cool of the day. He called at him by his name, and he refused to answer, 'cause he was naked and ashamed. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Now Christ had 12 apostles. He sent 3 of them away. He said, watch while I go yonder and get on my knees and pray. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Now Christ rose up on a Easter morning, and Mary, mother, came to see. He said, go and tell my disciples to meet me in Galilee. Yeah, tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seals. All right. Man, that felt pretty good. It's been a long time since I've done anything in front of people before, even though it's just a camera. But I know there's people in there somewhere. I'm going to switch up guitars here real quick. So I'm honored that the Kitchener Blues Society would ask me to do this. I have worked with the Blues Society in the past. We did a slide guitar clinic over at Dwayne King's Guitar Corner 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, quite a while ago. But the Grand River Blues Society was founded in 2003. And what they do is they team up with Kitchener Blues Fest and other local artists, and with the TD Bank Kitchener Blues Fest group, and put on different events. But mostly what they do, one of their big things is that they support blues in the local schools. And what I mean by this is that the Grand River Blues Society is in conjunction with the Kitchener Blues Fest. They provide a week-long blues camp for the youth who are interested in learning the blues. And once the camp is complete, they then provide a path for the new youth to use the skills they learned at the camp at the Kitchener Blues Fest. There's a stage set up for them, and they get to perform in front of a pretty big audience. If you've been to Kitchener Blues Fest before, it's a pretty big audience. They also support the Youth Legacy Challenge, and those winners also have a chance to actually make a recording of what they're doing and also play at the Kitchener Blues Fest. So it's a pretty cool thing. We didn't have that kind of thing when I was coming up. So if you're interested in joining the Grand River Blues Society, the membership is $20 a year, and I'll discuss further on into this live stream what it is they offer for that. But you can see them at grandriverblues.org. Go take a look, see what they do, and maybe there's something with them that you want to support them to keep this thing alive. I mean, making music on computers is fun, but it's way funner doing it on guitars and harmonicas and things that actually make noise that aren't binary. Now you'll notice I'm playing a Gibson Melody Maker Explorer, which is probably the weirdest guitar I've ever had in my life. This has belonged to Guy Westbrook, my good friend at the Fish and Musician. I believe this guitar is going to be mine. Mostly, if you know me, you probably realize that if I had $1 for every ZZ Top joke that I've ever heard, I wouldn't have to play another show again. I would be full-on retired. And of course, if you know ZZ Top, you'll know that Billy Gibbons has a penchant for these weird guitars. So I'm just going to play along with the game from here on in. This is one of the very first songs I ever wrote after I became an unemployed sideman. So here we go. see you move across the room all night long. The feeling comes just a little too strong. I wonder what you're thinking as you move right along. I wonder where you've been, how we missed it this long. She's got some grooves, she's really funky, and she's got the mojo, keep me singing this song. She's got my eyes, I want it all. She's got a groove that is second to none. She rides the canyons and she rides a wall. From way up there she can just see it all. She smiles at me when she's on her way down. The way she hits me, she sure makes me fall. She's got some grooves, she's really funky. She's got the mojo, keep me singing this song. She's got my eyes, I want it all. She's got a groove that is second to none. Out in the woods, she can make a tree fall. Out on the floor, she can just move it all. She is my rock, and I want to roll. It's good to know her and to know I'm her all. She's got some grooves, she's really funky. She's got the mojo, keep me singing this song. She's got my eyes, and I want it all. She's got a groove that is second to none. She's got a groove that is second to none. She's got a groove that is second to none. She's got a groove, she's got a groove. She's got a groove that is second to none. All right, well, thank you. If you're indeed applauding, it's hard for me to tell. The computer screens are a long way from my line of vision. I'm just going to switch guitars again. Now, as I promised Neil and Bruce at the Grand River Blues Society, I would do a quick, super quick thing on the slide guitar for those who are interested. If you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you'll probably notice that over the past year I've been putting up lots of free lessons, and I've opened up an online learning course here to remain gainfully employed, to share what I've learned over the years as we wait to get back to any semblance of live music, which I think is going to happen pretty soon now. I think we're just over the top of this thing, and now it's all downhill from here. And when I say up downhill, I mean downhill in a good way. So just very briefly, I'll just talk quickly about the slide guitar. Two things that are important, and I mean, I won't get into great detail. You can go to my channel and see some actual lessons, but the first thing is the actual slide itself. One of the common mistakes people make is they will put a slide on, and it doesn't matter whether you have it on your third finger, your second finger, wherever is comfortable for you. It's always good practice to try to dampen the strings behind the slide to get rid of any unwanted noise. For instance, I always keep my third finger, so the strings are always muted, and then I can add the slide, and then it's clean. As opposed to you get overtones from behind the slide. So it's a good practice to get into, to just keep your finger behind the slide just to mute the strings behind it, okay? Quick tip number one. Tip number 2 is the spider technique, and you can go back to my videos and watch how this works, but really the spider technique is simple, and what we're using it for is to deaden all the strings that you don't want to use while working a particular note. For instance, now you'll see how that was kind of dirty, so I could go. Now you'll see I pluck with my index finger the next string, so I start with the index. The minute I pluck that, I bring my second finger back down on the second string, and then I finish lick with my thumb. Now you'll see both fingers are covering those strings. This is a very, very basic tutorial on this because I really want to stay with the show for those who are here for the songs. But that's essentially the spider technique. Also, I use my thumb. I'll just go sideways here. You can see my thumb. I use that to dampen the bottom 3 strings as a general rule. So, and then everything's clean. Okay, so there's very basic tips for slide guitar. If you want to learn more, you can find me on facebook.com/slide guitar lessons, or just subscribe to the channel here. It's free. You can take a look and see what we do. All right, let's get back to the show here. I think I fulfilled my obligation for the educational aspect of this. I'm going to play a song here off my loop record from 2015. Sorry about that, folks. I'm managing a lot of little knobs and buttons here all by myself. You can't build a house if you can't afford the bricks. People on the top, they keep playing tricks, and you gotta work for yourself. You gotta think for yourself. You gotta own your own self, and you gotta do it by yourself. It don't matter how much money that you got. Well, there's always gonna be the people that have not, and you gotta work for yourself. You gotta think for yourself. You gotta own your own self, and you gotta do it by yourself. More time that you spend will be the less time that you got. It's better to help your friends than to fight the man on top. And you gotta work for yourself. You gotta think for yourself. You gotta own your own self, and you gotta do it by yourself. When you find your bricks, you can finally build your house. The friends that you made, they'll be sure to help you out, 'cause they took the time they had and they thought for themselves. And you gotta work for yourself, you gotta think for yourself, you gotta own your own self, and you gotta do it by yourself. You gotta work for yourself, you gotta own your own self. If you're applauding, thank you. Quick guitar switch up here. Well, man, I got to tell you, this is a lot of fun. I feel good after all the frustrations of trying to learn computer programs on old Mac computers that I've had for 10 years and trying to make it all work. I finally beat that battle. I'm feeling pretty good about this. So you're going to see a whole lot more live streams on YouTube right here in the future with me. Also, I'm moving over to Twitch TV. I'll have an account over there for those who are Twitchers. It just seems like the way to go right now, in conjunction too with the summertime shows we're going to have. Until we get back to complete normalcy, we'll do some shows here. I tuned all the guitars ahead of time, but I'd just like to check them one more time. As the weather gets warm, these things are a little tougher to keep in tune. Well, here's another song off the Loop record from 2015. Well, I've been chasing a sound, forever running round. The sign on the road, flashing bright red. Well, in the light of the night, well, it said to me, slow down, man, if you want to get ahead. And it's hard to find change in a pocket full of picks. And this old dog still has a few tricks, and every little story usually has a moral. But the one thing that I know, well, it's hard to find change in a pocket full of picks. Now just hold tight here, folks. This is the problem with too many guitars and no text. We're just going to get the guitar in here now. Well, it's hard to find change in a pocket full of picks. And this old dog still has a few tricks. In every little story usually has a moral. But the one thing that I know, well, it's hard to find change in a pocket full of picks. Well, I rode it out west and I stomped it in the east. I flew down south and I took it right in the teeth. Living real big in these wide open spaces, and I'm spinning my wheels amongst these familiar faces. Well, it's hard to find change in a pocket full of picks. And this old dog still has a few tricks in every little moral. Always has a story, but the one thing that I know, well, it's hard to find change in a pocket full of picks. In every little story, always has a moral, but the one thing that I know, well, it's hard to find change in a pocket full of picks. Sorry about that, folks. I noticed midway through the song I changed the preamp, but I didn't plug the actual guitar in. There's just for all you people out there that have been watching live streams lately and think, well, man, it's probably pretty easy for the musicians to stay at home and do this. You know what's easy? Just driving to a gig, plugging in your guitar to an amp, and playing. When you're at home doing live streams, I got to turn that stuff on. I got to turn this stuff on. I got to turn this stuff on. I got to watch this stuff. I got to look over there and make sure that stuff's going. Got to make sure this stuff's all going. And it'll drive you crazy until you finally figure it out. And you just got to remember how to plug things in. Anyways, I hope you're having a good time so far. I certainly am. The little things I take for granted while playing live, you know, people will just bring you a bottle of water. You know, they'll ask you, hey, man, are you hungry? You look like you haven't eaten in a while. Can I loan you $5? You look like, you know, your jeans are dirty, man. Is that your car out there, that old 2007 Corolla? You drive that thing? All these things I take for granted. I got to set all this up on my own here, even to remember to get my own glass of water. Oh, my goodness. If I didn't realize music was going to be that hard, maybe I would have chose another path. Anyways, obviously, folks, it's been quite a year we've had here. I've spent a lot of time here in this room, and I've had some ups and downs. One of the ups was I did get a couple of new songs. I was able to write, a couple of new songs that I found. My creativity typically comes from me being on the road. When I sit around here sort of idle, it's hard to be creative for me. When I'm outside and out on the highway in different towns, countries, continents, it gives me a lot to write about. And writing's never come easy for me. So I was happy through the negative part of this whole thing to get a couple of new songs. This is one of them. I've been waiting like a dog at your door without a bone, and you ain't sending me much anymore. And now I'm riding like a rocket on a rail made of lead, and I'm trying to get away from you. 700 miles across the Great Divide, and it's another half-sold show. And every time I try to get some distance, well, this time I'm gonna see it through. And you don't even know me. Nowhere is now here. And can't you just show me the easy way right out of here? 'Cause when the booker leaves, so do you. And when the booker's gone, you're gone too. And when the booker's out, so are you. 'Cause when the booker goes, you go too. Right here would be a good spot for a band. And you don't even know me. Nowhere is now here. And can't you just show me the doorway to get clear? Well, is there something you'd like to say to me? 'Cause I can see it in your eyes. And I'm out here chasing shooting stars. You just hide behind your disguise. And you don't even know me. Nowhere is now here. And can't you just show me the doorway right out of here? 'Cause when the booker's gone, you're gone too. And when the booker's out, so are you. And when the booker leaves, you leave too. 'Cause when the booker's goes, so do you. Well, look for that song to be on the new record when I finally get up and around to it, which was going to be 2 years ago until this all happened, but maybe early next year now. Another quick guitar change. See, part of this whole show today was how many guitars can I fit into one show as well? Because that's what I do. I just like guitars. I'll do a shout out here to my friend Delphi Smith, who likes guitars way more than I do and has way better guitars. But I got some guitars. All right, so for those of you who have been following me for a few years, you'll likely remember that I had a couple of break and enters last September. One in the shed, one in the house, and I lost a couple of guitars out of that. And so I was pretty sad, angry at first, angry and then sad, and then I just kind of tried to make it into a positive, at which point I wrote a song about the guitars. And it was, good times. Okay, I got something positive here. And then this past February, I found the guitars at the local pawn shop. I just happened to be walking by, and I checked that pawn shop once a week, all through the winter time, even through the closures. I'd look in the window just to see. And on a cold day, walking with my partner, my partner says, "You're getting crazy. You're starting to lose your mind." Because I'd always have to gravitate over towards that pawn shop and take a look in. I don't know what it was. I just had to do it. She says, "You're starting to lose your mind, aren't you?" I said, "Possibly." And we were walking back from the post office that afternoon, and I happened to look into the window, and bingo, my ship came in. I couldn't even believe it. I looked through and I go, "Wait a minute, that looks like my Telecaster." And then I looked behind it, and that looks exactly like this guitar. I couldn't believe it. It was my ship. My luck was incredible. So anyways, to stay positive about the whole thing, this guitar was actually given to me by Pat Wadovich. It was owned by his brother. His brother Donnie gave it to Pat. And then Pat wanted me to have that. The Wadovich family up in Espanola, for any touring musician out there knows that this family is the live music family. If our entire universe could be filled with this family, oh my God, musicians, it would be so easy. Wonderful supporters of live music. You'll see me post these stories about the Espanola Hydroelectric Company. That's them. That's the garage. Longtime fans, longtime good friends, and Pat gave me this guitar, and because of that, this guitar is important to me. It's the story of the guitar is as important as the guitar itself. Not to mention, I just really like this guitar. So I got the song out of it, and even though I got the guitars back, the song is still relevant. This could be about a relationship too. It's kind of your call. It could be about your guitar, it could be about a lost relationship, it could be just about anything you want it to be. Well, there's some that say that the angels are out of order, and I think of you from behind the line of this brand new border. I hear your voice and I take a look over my shoulder, 'cause moving on wasn't part of the plan when the days grew shorter. Well, the clock was slow on the broken path on the day we met. And you found your voice from within my hands and inside my head. And it wasn't long ago that you lived inside the walls of another man. And generosity was a quality that brought you to me. There's people in the night that'll do you harm, and they won't think twice. And when you lose a friend to a careless man, well, it's a sacrifice. And there's some that say that the angels are out of order. And I remember you from behind the line of this brand new border. Because moving on wasn't part of the plan when the days grew shorter. Oh, moving on wasn't part of the plan when the days grew shorter. 'Cause I'm moving on. So the moral is, something positive can certainly come out of something negative. All right, well, we're closing in on this thing here. I should tell you some more about the Grand River Blues Society, because man, oh man, without them, I probably wouldn't be doing this right now. So the Grand River Blues Society also is the Kitchener representative, or the Kitchener-Waterloo region representative of the Road to Memphis Blues Challenge. I'm sure most of you guys know about the Road to Memphis Blues Challenge. It's a pretty cool thing. It takes local blues acts from all over North America in each region, and they have a competition. And out of the competition in the regional areas, the winners of each competition goes down to Memphis for the big blues week. And we've had some pretty fortunate, cool musicians here. Steve Strongman, Sean Pynchon, Alfie Smith, all the great blues guys from here have all made it down there. And on behalf of Grand River Blues Society, although I'm not sure if Alfie was part of London or part of Kitchener, I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. The Grand River Blues Society, they handle Kitchener-Waterloo end of this, and so they usually send either duo, solo performers down there, and they do that with the donations or the membership fees that you provide with them when you become a member of the Grand River Blues Society. Now that's only $20 a year to join, and here's what you get for that. For your $20, and this is a pretty good deal, I think. You get bi-monthly prize draws. This could be like swag, CDs of local blues guys, T-shirts, tickets, stuff, cool stuff. Bi-monthly prize draw. So you're automatically in that. If you're a member, you're automatically entered in that. You get a bi-monthly newsletter sent to your email address telling you what's going on. One of the biggest complaints in the world is, there's nothing going on. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do. Grand River Blues Society will tell you where you can go and what to do in a positive way. They're not going to tell you where to go. They're going to suggest you go and see something there. I got to be careful how I say this stuff. Also, you get various discounts to any blues events that they are affiliated with. For instance, the Toronto Dominion Kitchener Blues Fest. They're affiliated with them, and they have different little prize packs, and whatever shows they put on, you may find yourself with a reduction in the ticket price, which then all of a sudden the membership just kind of pays for itself. It's almost like they're paying you to be a member of them. And also, too, they do an online weekly blues buzz. So, if you're into the quick sort of thing, if your world runs fast, like, and you got computers going everywhere and you want a blues buzz, and they do all that. They let you know what's going on. I'm on it, and I get hit lots. They're very, very, very active on the online thing with the blues buzz. So, Grand River Blues Society, it's grandriverblues.org. Go take a look at what they do and consider becoming a member. It's $20. You can't get, I don't know what you can get for $20. One time I got a sandwich just last week, and the sandwich was almost $18, which was all the money I had for the entire month. So you can imagine, just being a member, you get all this other stuff, and they might give you a sandwich too. Who knows? Anyways, a shout out to Neil Tarswell and Mr. Hall, who is the president of this. Bruce Hall, they put all these things together. They're running a good group. Brenda O'Connor, just throwing out names of people I know in the society. Go take a look at what they do. Now, also, they're actually paying me for this. Part of your money today goes to paying me to do this, and I'm grateful. It hadn't been a whole lot of work for guys like me in the past year, as you well know. And in the same, so I bring that up because it really is a good organization. They are paying for this. This is even though it's free, Dan Walsh, it's free for you guys. It's not free for them. However, if you would like to become a member, go take a look. And of course, you'll see a little PayPal a Beard Zone link up on the top of my screen. I think over on this side as I look in the computer. If you feel like you're having a good time today, there's no obligation. This is just like any other show. If you think you've had a good time, feel like throwing the musician a tip so he can buy another sandwich and carry on, I would be grateful for it. No obligation. This show is free. It's for you, and I hope you're enjoying it. So to end this thing out, I've got a couple more songs for you, and I always like to do a couple of cool covers. One cover I do all the time. It's a huge request. I get it all the time. I had the request this morning, Cam. Every time I see my old friend Cam, I get a text this morning going, hey, it would be super cool if you could play this one song I like. I'm not going to tell you what it is until we get to it. But here's an old Stephen Stills song, and it's called Treetop Flyer. And there's a cool version on it called Just Roll Tape, where it's Stephen Stills playing the slide guitar while singing this song. I dig that one. So I'm going to do that one for you today. I might be a rambler from the 7 dials, and I don't pay taxes 'cause I never file, and I don't do business that don't make me smile, and I love my aeroplane because she got style. I'm a treetop flyer. Any cargo you can pay to run. The Bush League pilots, they just can't get the job done. You got to fly down in the canyon, you never see the sun. There ain't no such thing as an easy run. I'm a treetop flyer. Low, I am in high demand. Fly 15 feet over the Rio Grande, and I blow the mesquite right up off the sand. And I'm seldom seen, especially when I land. I'm a treetop flyer. People been asking, where'd you learn to fly that way? It was over in Vietnam chasing NBA. The government taught me, they taught me right. You stand to the tree line, you just might be alright. I'm a treetop flyer. I'm coming home, I'm flying low and fast. Promise my lady, this is gonna be my last. I get the ship down and I tie her fast. And some old boy walks up and says, "Hey son, you wanna make some quick cash?" Well, I'm a treetop flyer. Well, there's things I am and there's things I'm not. I am a smuggler and I could get shot. I ain't gonna die, I ain't gonna get caught. I'm a flying fool and my aeroplane is just too hot. I'm a treetop flyer. I usually work alone. That's a Stephen Stills song, folks. Look him up if you want to hear some kind of cool slide guitar from a guy who didn't play too much slide guitar. Well, we're on the final guitar change, I promise. All right. Well, just give me a second here to get this old Telly tuned up. This really has become a great guitar for me. I'm so happy to have it back. Of course, let's make sure I've got the one cable plugged in. There we go. So for years and years now, I've always tried to end my shows with this song. Forgive me if you all have heard this song a million times, but I love it. And of course, if you all know me, you will know my huge love for J.J. Cale. J.J. Cale being one of my favorite, not only guitar players, just simple sound maker. The guy gets such beautiful tones in everything he's ever done. So I thank you guys for tuning in today. Sure has been a lot of fun. Don't forget to check out GrandRiverBluesSociety.org. They do do a lot of good things, including what they've done here today. One more big thanks to Jonathan Knight for helping me figure all this stuff out. This felt really good this afternoon. I can't wait to get back to see y'all soon. So Cam Thomas, if you're watching this song goes directly to you, my friend. And we'll see you out there this summer. Well, Clyde plays electric bass, plays with finesse and grace. Sit on a porch without no shoes. He's picking a bass and he's singing the blues. Turn that guitar down just a touch. Larry Lee loves a company, and his old dog sings harmony. Tambourine tied to his tail. You can hear him moan and you can hear him wail. Joe DeMay, he got $1. Down the road, you can hear him holler. Get up, Clyde, we got something to do. That old dog sure sing the blues. All right, folks. Well, I hope you've had a good time here this afternoon. If you've tuned in, I'll try to answer any questions on that chat later on today once I sort out what happened here. And I know you had lots of choices today. I'm ecstatic you chose me. Thank you to the Grand River Blues Society. Thank you to my partner for putting up with my stuff and junk. And we'll see you out there this summer. I know we're close. He don't move and he don't flinch. Clyde, he don't move an inch. Sit on a porch without no shoes. And he's picking the bass and he's singing the blues. GrandRiverBlues.org. Take care, folks. We'll see y'all real soon.